Hey everyone, what's going on? This is the deck profile for the fish slash shark combination. This is Tim over at our TCT Invitationals that we got going on every month. And Tim, why don't you tell us a little bit about your deck and what makes it so special?
Sure, it ends on toads, which is always fun. All right, so what we got is we got 3 buzzsaw shark, MVP of the deck, summons other fish from the deck. Then we got 3 lantern shark. Lantern shark's really good, especially summons from hand. It's a like Goblinberg for the deck. We got 3 Exceed Remora. Sadly didn't come up as much as I wanted last night because I just didn't see it in my hand. But really good. It reborns 2 fish from your graveyard, which is crazy, by detaching 2 materials from any Exceed you control. We got Silent Angler. This card, MVP last night in terms of cards I saw in hand a lot. This card is just a free special from hand, free rank 4 extender. The worst normal summon in the deck, but also one of the most powerful, sadly, is Beautiful Princess. It can dodge things like Veiler and Imperm, which is really good. But overall, it just sucks because if it gets Ashed, you lose a normal summon. But it banishes itself for cost, which is always funny. So technically you could Gamma or something, but it's just not worth it. Then we have the last of the actual fish. We have Lifeless Leaf Fish. It's a Daigusto Emerald for the deck. It's not a good summon really. It's a Foolish Barrel for fish, but it's still really, really good. Then for the non-fish, we got 3 Tenny Spirit Shithania, I think that's pronounced. Free special from hand for rank 4s, and we run a instant fusion, ready fusion package, so it's just free rank 4s without your normal summon. And then for the tech, we got Exceed Sly Dolphin. A lot of people are playing, I think it's called White Stingray. I like this card better because it's a free special from hand if you special and Exceed, which is better because you don't have to discard a card from your hand and lose card economy. And it also attaches itself as Exceed material from the graveyard. And it makes it so all of your Exceeds just have extra material, which for like Zeus, stuff like that, if you want to make a 4 material Zeus easier, but you want to detach for Bahamut Shark or something, it makes so you always have at least 2 materials. You can make sure you have 3 materials and possibly more on the Bahamut Shark, on the Zeus, which is always really good. Moving on to spells, we got 3 White Mirror. It's Monster Reborn for the deck. If it specials, so it can only target fish, although 4 lower fish. But if it specials a fish, it then searches a fish of the same name. So if you special Silent Angler, it will search Silent Angler, which is always really, really good. You always want to have cards that are free specials from in your to your hand. It is a activate once per turn, which sucks, but it's okay. Maining double talents. Talents were really good last night. If I get stopped, I just draw 4 cards. 2 cards, and then if I draw into Prosperity, I draw 4 cards. And it helps me see my trap lineup, which is always really good. Take monsters. I took someone's Exceed last night and made a Zeus with their Exceed, which was funny.
You took my card last night when we played our matchup, which
it won me the game.
Which was not funny, but it was successful for you. That's good.
From here, I have the torrential package. Part of the torrential package. This searches torrential tribute and protects my waters. One of the Exceeds in the deck makes everything on the board water, so it also protects all of my Exceeds, which is funny if I have that on the board. My entire board just gets protected if I have this. And searching torrential is kind of funny. Then we got the Ready Fusion package, the 2 Ready Fusion, 1 Instant Fusion. I've seen people arguing for like the 3 Ready Fusion. My issue with that is that if you're running the Lifeless Leaf Fish, you can shuffle back the Rare Fish, and then if you have both, you can then use the Ready Fusion or the Instant Fusion that you didn't use previously and special on the Rare Fish again, which is funny because you just get 2 free level 4s off these. Then for the last one to round it out, we got Pot of Desires. I never banished anything that was worth it last night. The deck's mostly 3 ofs, a bunch of 2 ofs is not, and banishing 2 ofs is fine in this deck because you don't need half the 2 ofs you have. Moving on to traps. Triple Gozen match. Really good because you lock your opponent into water, which is always funny. I did that to Sky Striker last night. and it's good against the Brave token package because most people who use Brave tokens don't use Earths except for like prank kids, but even then they can't play under Gozen. And you lock them into Earth and they just scoop because they can't summon at all. And if they're playing, and you're playing your deck and you have the Stealth Kraken out, which I'll show you guys when we get to the extra deck, you just win with this card. Next we got 3 Infinite Permanents. Really good. I wish I ran more hand traps in the deck, but I don't have the room. Sadly, while I said like off-pot desires, everything is fine to be banished, you also need like at least one of everything in the deck, at least monster-wise. Then for 2 off traps, we got 2 Torrentials to get searched and 2 Judgments. We're at 42 cards. I wish I could have played the 3rd Judgment, but I couldn't find the room. So I just ended up throwing the Judgment somewhere else. And now moving on to the extra deck. We got 2 Totally Awesome. Best card that ever came out for a water deck. Literally free negates, takes the monster and replaces itself or the card. I took Engage last night and then added Buzzsaw Shark, and Buzzsaw Shark starts all your combos again for rank 4s. So just really, really good. Then we got the number 4 Stealth Kraken package. I wish I didn't want to run this card because I need room for a 3rd Toad, but this card is really, really good because its interaction with Gozen match is like zombie locking or doing the same thing in Dinosaurs. It's just stupid. It's not fair to your opponents. Then we got 3 Bahamut Shark. I had at one point thought about going 2 Bahamut Shark, 3 Toad, but the issue with 2 Bahamut Shark is that it's harder to get the Bahamut Shark back in the extra for the 3rd Toad, and Toad can just put itself back. So I decided this. I might cut it down to 2 in the future, but I'm not too sure. I have to test with it. Then for one-ofs, we got one of Abyss Dweller. Really good. Sadly, didn't see any graveyard-based deck except for Try last night. Made it against them, and I just, in game 3, sadly, I just didn't have enough steam to keep going. The B, Driver Vespinato. Really, really good. I used it last night against Tri Brigade. I crashed into his Omen and then reborned my level 4 and made a Zeus with it. A 4 material Zeus, which is always really good. Then for the Zodiac package, we got Chakanine, because it's the only Zodiac that can be made with 2 level 4s, which then goes on top with Borbo, who with 0 attack, attacks direct. And then to round it off the Zodiac package, we have the Zeus. This just makes it a free 4 material Zeus. It's really strong. I wasn't running this in the original build, but I needed to. Then we got the F-Zero package. Not a lot to say about it. One of the best cards in rank 4 decks that don't spit out numbers. Just completely stupid. It steals the opponent's monster if it's on the field. If it's level 4, I get to make it into Exceeds. And then for the final card to round it off, we got the Rare Fish. Not a lot to say, just level 4 for Ready Fusion and Instant Fusion. Now to the side deck. The side deck last night was weird. I liked it, but I made it 4 here because I thought I knew what everyone was playing. The try was weird because I thought Sheldon was going to be playing Sword Soul last night, but I did have the Lancias just in case. Double Nibiru. It only came up against Mike actually with Generator, but it's just not the greatest anymore, sadly. Most people know about Nibiru now. They can play around it. Might replace it in the future. The 3 Gamma Seal. This card was really, really good last night. I sided it for the Striker matchup. Sadly, right now it's not searchable, but in the future, when the Sharks get its future support in May, I think it is, it becomes searchable, which is always kind of funny. Other than that, it's just a water. And then if I special summon one to my opponent's field, one to my field with Dweller, it becomes 2700 attack, which is funny. Then we got the Triple Lancia. Sadly, didn't see this card at all last night. Against Try, which is the only matchup I played where I could have used it. Probably would have helped, but didn't see it. Triple Dark Ruler, again, didn't see this card in any of the matchups that I wanted to, but it existed, which is always good. Triple Evenly. Every time I even lead, it got negated, or I tried to bait them into thinking I had evenly, because if you're playing against a player that respects evenly, then they don't usually care about it. But if they end on no negates, you can always just go, you're not going to kill them that turn, you go standby phase, main phase, battle phase, and just try to scare them into like using things before they should. And the One of Judgment. I mean, I just had a flex spot. I thought about running Panker Tops, but I just honestly couldn't find my last one last night. And that's about it.
Well, it's not too bad. It's not too bad. So I know some of the matchups, and I had a matchup against you, and it was very, very, very difficult because you ended up getting some really good cards. Double Imperm, not fun to play against, and I found that out the hard way. But some of the other matchups, give us a quick rundown.
So round one was Tri Brigade against Sheldon. Good matchup. It's probably my hardest matchup because he just removes my normal summon from the field, and depending on my hands, that's just the game. Sometimes this deck is sadly normal summon reliant. Then round two, I played against Striker. Again, went to game 3 against Ross. He ended up squeaking it out. Game 1, I set up double Toad F0. Game 2, I just had nothing. He went first and just ended on a really strong board. I just basically scooped. And then game 3 against him, I Toad Stealth Greg and Gozen match. He ended up forgetting to droplet my Toad, which was funny. He got mad at that, but just didn't have enough gas to keep going. He ended up outing the board, and then I just had to sit there and cry. Round 2 was against Super Quants, which sadly isn't really a deck. It's cool. It's Power Rangers.
Wait, round 2 or round 3? Round 3.
Oh, sorry, round 3.
Round 3.
Round 2 was Sky Striker. Round 3 was Super Quants. I cho'd him. Game 1, I ended on double Toad F0. Game 3, I stole his only Exceed and put Zeus over it just because I thought it was funny. Round 4 was against you. We went to game 3. Game 1, you used the Dragoon negate on something, and I ended up making a Zeus. Game 3, you summon limit their can skill drained me. There's like 3 floodgates. I can play around 2 of them. Can't play around 3 of them. And then that was game 2. Game 3, I went first. I ended up only making, I made Toad Kragan with Gozen match. You even lead me after getting me to Toad a Red Ice Fusion. Then I got rid of everything besides Stealth Kragan. You banished Stealth Kragan with Ugadar, and I ended up just Zeusing you for game again. But yeah, overall, the matchups were pretty decent last night. Again, my worst matchup of last night was Tri Brigades. Striker's a hard matchup, but because I just put up 1,000 Omni negates, it's not that bad.
Any kind of other major change? Like you discussed a couple of changes in the deck you're thinking about for maybe, between the extra, between the Bahamut Shark to a Toad, but anything else that you're like right off the top of your head right now saying, you know what, I really wish I had this card?
Not really. I wish we had the new support because it gives us access to a rank 5, which is really good. Number C101, Silent Honor Dark. But it's not crazy. It's non-targeting removal, which is funny because the new rank 5 lets you attach a monster or a card on your opponent's field to it as Exceed material. And then you go into C101. But other than that, there's not a lot that I change in the deck that I have to wait till May for. The traps weren't in there originally. I was playing a way more combo heavy variant. But the issue with the combo heavy variant is that if you get stopped on like your normal or like when you make Toad and when you make Shark and you have no extenders in your hand, you kind of just sit there and cry. But at least with the trap variant, you just sit there and go, okay, I'm gonna set like 1 or 2 traps and hope that you can't out like a torrential judgment, torrential imperm, a judgment imperm, stuff like that. Because traps in general, like people now have to play around like double Toad or like Toad Kragan and like 2 traps. It's like it makes it harder for people to play around.
That's not bad. Well, hey, listen, thanks for the deck profile. We appreciate it. And like always, make sure that you like, comment, subscribe over at TCT Gaming. Almost
Troy City Gaming, yep.
the Troy City Gaming for it. And like I said, thanks so much, guys, for watching. Have a great day. We'll see you later.
Later, guys.